guys? Welcome to the Chat and Shoot podcast. Gay Jax here with my boss here, J Dog.
J Dog.
So we're going over week 3. We're gonna talk about some games, go over this list of stuff we got going on. Fantasy, some little bit of sports betting. So
Got the Vic and Suggs jersey on.
yep.
Let's go. Alright, what's the first game you want to talk about, dude?
Kind of like how the 49ers continue to slay the Giants every time.
Everybody. I mean, and Brock Purdy looked a lot more clean than last time. 310 yards, 25 for 37, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah, Daniel Jones, 22 for 32, 137 yards and a pick. That's bad, man. That's bad news. It's not even really his fault all the time. His O-line is not playing the way they should for
What's that average? What's that average? 22 passes for 137 yards?
It's under 10 yards.
That's a lot. That's a lot of passes for only that amount of yards.
And Brock Purdy's just eating everything in the sight, which is insane. 7th round draft pick.
That's 6.2 yards.
That's bad. It's like running. It's good running back numbers.
Yeah.
There wasn't much to see in this game, honestly. It was a dud.
Yeah, 49ers just came out there. Christian McCaffrey, 18 rushes for 85 yards. Even Elijah Mitchell came out for 42 yards. Brock Purdy throwing for 2 touchdowns. Deebo Samuel having a game, but then getting injury scare at the end. I'm not sure what's going on with him, so we'll have to keep an eye on him. But 6 receptions, 129 yards, 21.5 yard average, and a touchdown. That's great.
Yeah, great for them, not so great for the Giants.
Oh, no.
But if we want to go there, we can move on to the next game. Chargers, they went against the Vikings. It was actually a pretty close game. Justin Herbert just straight carrying the team despite all the injuries. 405 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Did you see that throw by Keenan Allen?
No.
Keenan Allen threw. Oh, man. Let me show you the stat. Keenan Allen threw
49-yard
touchdown to
Wow.
Mike Williams.
Yeah, fantasy.
Mike Williams out for the year now. But look at Keenan Allen, 18 receptions, 215 yards.
And the passing touchdown.
Mike Williams, the last game of the season, they get 7 receptions, 121 yards, and a touchdown.
Unfortunate that he's hurt.
Josh Palmer, 4 receptions, 66 yards, and a touchdown. He's going to be someone they're going to look for to get this passing game going without Mike Williams.
Yeah, and Minnesota just choking every game. I think they're a lot better than their record shows, but man, you gotta capitalize on these and win football games.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson, 7 receptions, 149 yards.
Carrying the team, Kirk and Justin Jefferson.
T.J. Hawkinson, 8 receptions for 78 yards. Jordan Addison, 6 receptions, 52 yards.
Averaging 5 yards on the ground, almost 4.7. So,
And 20 carries, 93 yards for Alexander Madison. It's not like they had a bad game. It's just the fact that they cannot win these games. It's those final moments. And if you watch that game at the very end, you see almost the screen shaking because of how loud the Vikings fans were. And they actually went over and blamed their fans for the loss, saying that it was too loud. So that's never something you want to do. You don't want to blame the people that are paying to come see you. It doesn't look good on you. So they're doing a lot of things I don't agree with. They're a great team. Not a great defense, I can tell you that. They're a great team.
Speaking of great teams but not good defenses, Falcons Lion game, a little snoozer game there. Lions shutting down the run game in this game. 10 carries, 33 yards for Bijan is looking like a little bit of regression was due, and there it is against a good Detroit team. They're looking like what everybody thought they would be eventually, man. Jared Goff's playing the way he needs to. He's doing great.
Yeah, Bijan didn't have a game, I can tell you that. 10 carries, 33 yards, 3.3 average. He caught 4 passes for 27 yards. He didn't look like the Bijan that Rookie Player of the Year, Bijan, that we've been seeing the last few weeks. So hopefully that doesn't continue. Kyle Pitts, 5 receptions, 41 yards. The top receiver, 5 receptions, 41 yards.
Not good.
But, I mean, he threw to quite a few people, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different receivers. So, I mean, he's spreading the ball around at least. But, I mean, he's not getting yards. I mean, it's like everybody's getting short yardage. It's all short throws.
Desmond Ritter is not doing what he needs to do. I mean, he's a rookie, so that's the thing when you trust the run so much and then it just gets shut down the way it did this week and you have nothing. You only score 6 points.
Jahmyr Gibbs having a game, though. 17 carries, 80 yards, 4.7 average. I mean, that's pretty bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, once Jameson Williams back, this team's going to be worse.
Worse.
Yeah. Or,
Better?
yeah. Oops.
I say Jameson Williams is about to come in there and destroy.
Yeah.
Him next to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Oh, man. Sam Laporta. I mean, he's pretty good rookie tight end. He's looking good.
Yeah, I think they have a great structured team. I think
Yeah.
they might actually make a good playoff run this year. At least a wild card team.
One game I want to talk about is the guy that I don't think is going to last all year, and that's Ryan Tannehill. And part of the reason I don't think he's going to last all year
That's that
is
line.
he has 104 yards this game against the Cleveland Browns. And also, his offensive line is just getting him sacked. He's had 13 sacks in the last 3 games. 3 games, he got sacked 13 times. I mean, this guy's starting to get older. You got Malik Willis, you got Will Levis just sitting there in the back, waiting. So, hopefully they can pick that up.
Derrick Henry only getting 20 yards rushing. Very bad look for my fantasy team.
Yeah.
I mean, he's usually reliable even when the Titans aren't doing anything, but they shut Derrick Henry down. So it says a lot about this Cleveland defense, I think. I mean, the O-line's not doing him any cases, but usually Derrick Henry doesn't need the offensive line. So, yeah, Myles Garrett's just on fire. Cleveland defense, definitely one to watch.
Yeah, Cleveland's defense is what's holding them up. I mean, Deshaun Watson didn't look bad in the air. 27 for 33, 289 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he didn't look bad. And they had, like, basically no run game without Nick Chubb. So.
Drew Strong did all right, but not no Nick Chubb numbers. This game would have looked way worse with Nick Chubb out there.
Yeah, he only ran 6 times. I mean, look at the spread between all the people that ran, and still there was really nothing getting done. Then you got Amari Cooper getting 7 receptions for 116 yards, and Elijah Moore getting 9 receptions, 49 yards. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 3 receptions, 49 yards. I mean, they were effective in the air. Myles Garrett's looking like he might be someone to watch because if he even gets to the offensive line, he's going to be nuts. He got 3.5 sacks that game. 3.5 sacks in one game. I mean, this guy, him and J.J. Watt are just making defensive plays here.
Not much to talk about, though, besides that. I mean, blowout, boring game.
Yeah.
Oh, Texans-Jags.
Yeah, you wanna see a surprise? It's the Texans pulled off the victory against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, C.J. Stroud looking good. And he continues to look good. I mean, even in the losses, he was throwing no picks yet. I mean, he's doing great. I mean, he has 906 pass yards and 4 touchdowns in 3 games. 280 and 2 touchdowns just in that game. I mean, he's not doing bad. Trevor Lawrence is, I mean, he's not doing bad either, but he's just not finishing the games.
He's been in the league too long to be playing the way he's playing, I feel, at this point, but
Yeah.
no rush, you know.
I mean, that runner, Travis Etienne, 19 carries and 88 yards. He's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, 88 yards, not bad for fantasy at all.
Yeah.
5 yards a carry, it's not bad. It's just, they're not capitalizing on drives. Their red zone offense is not looking good, and Houston's just walking all over that. And that's Houston Texans' first win of the season. 37-17, that's 20 points.
And who was that, like, first-round draft pick cornerback that they had? It was not this last draft, but the draft before that. I can't think of his name. Let me see in the player stats for the Texans. He was holding down Calvin Ridley on. Let me see. I don't even see his name on there. Maybe he wasn't the one I was thinking of. Yeah, I mean, they held Calvin Ridley to, 40 yards? Yeah, 3 receptions, 40 yards. Holding Calvin Ridley to that after the crazy games he's had, that's pretty crazy. Just holding him to 3 receptions in general is pretty crazy. So, Texans might be a sleeper team as C.J. Stroud starts to get comfortable.
Rookie of the year, possibly.
Yeah, they like to give it to quarterbacks. I mean, that's what they look for.
All right, we can move on to the Patriots game here. Patriots defense just absolutely walking all over every team they play. Even gave the Eagles a hard time. That was a closer game than it should have been.
Yeah.
It was obviously a boring game in that regard, but
It's defensive. A lot of defensive teams this year. I mean, defense is important this year.
25 total points. That's a snooze fest right there, guys.
Yeah. Ezekiel Elliott was 16 rushes for 80 yards, though.
Yeah, and I dropped him on my fantasy team to pick up somebody else when someone else got hurt, so as soon as you drop a guy, they start producing, so you gotta be patient sometimes. He's got more yards than Derrick Henry.
And guess who goes against the Cowboys next week? Patriots.
Yeah, it was
Ezekiel
that
Elliott.
game. It was a revenge game. I'd like to see him out there.
Yeah, so he might be a pickup for at least that week because I feel like they're going to have to play him against the Cowboys. They got to be like, we made out and you guys suck. So that's what they want anyway. That defense is nothing to mess with, and they're going to be coming for Zeke's everything. They know his run style. They know him in general. They've had it on his team for how long? So, I mean, look for Zeke to have productivity in the game, but also look for the Cowboys to know what he's going to do. I mean, the Jets, Zach Wilson, what is going on? What is going on with the Zach Wilson experience? I thought we were going to live in that world for a little bit. I mean, Garrett Wilson, he was Rookie of the Year with Zach Wilson. What happened? Now he has 5 receptions, 48 yards, and 10 points for a game. He didn't even have a touchdown. Breece Hall, he had 12 carries for 18 yards. Dalvin Cook, he had 8 carries for 18 yards. What is happening to the New York Jets?
It's sickening.
What's the answer? Sign Carson Wentz?
Drop Dalvin Cook off my fantasy team.
Sign Carson Wentz? Was that the answer? Sign Matt Ryan? I mean,
Something.
it has to be better. Elevate Tim Boyle? Make him the starter? Maybe he'll be the next Mike White. Why'd you get rid of Mike White? Because we got Aaron Rodgers. Now you don't. Do you trade back and get Mike White back in there? That's the question.
They ain't gonna do all that. Then you get
Jets are the most desperate franchise right now. They will do what it takes when it takes. And Robert Saleh looks pissed. He looks like his face almost looks like Sean Payton's in that Dolphins game.
Yep.
That
70-20.
Dolphins game was crazy. Absolutely nuts.
It's like when you play Madden on franchise and you realize
On
that,
rookie mode.
yeah, simulation or just sims you a weird game and you're like, that never happened in real life. Well, guess what, boys, it did. So you don't gotta delete them anymore. They're
And
bad apples.
There was points in the game where they were just done scoring and they were like, let's run the ball. The dude was just running through their defensive line and just running for touchdowns. They just wanted to run out the clock by the end of it, and they were just kept touchdowns. I saw a thing on Facebook that there's a family that's a fan of the Miami Dolphins, and every time they get a touchdown, their whole family takes a shot.
Yeah, I heard
And they
about
said
that.
they have to rethink their tradition because of this game. 10 shots. Their entire family. They all had a headache the next morning, I know.
Yeah, they didn't go to work Monday morning.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's crazy, man. I mean, that was crazy. And Sean Payton, hoo-wee, he's disappointed. I mean, honestly, is it Russell Wilson's fault? Maybe. Is it the rest of the team's fault? Maybe. Does Sean Payton deserve to get criticized for this game? Yes. Did you see this happen last year? Did you? I mean, it hasn't happened since 1966. And as soon as Sean Payton took over, I mean, they're 0-3. So, I mean, are they doing better offensively, scoring wise? Yeah. Are they doing better as a team? No. So, we'll see what happens with that. You have any takeaways from this game? There's a lot of them.
14 points in the first quarter, 21 in the second, 14 in the third, 21 in the fourth.
I mean, he was 16 for 16, 260 yards at halftime.
Yeah,
He didn't miss a
missed
completion.
He missed 3 the whole game.
3 incompletions the whole game for 309 yards and 4 touchdowns.
200 yards rushing for Devon Kane. It's ridiculous.
And I mean, Tyreek Hill. Oh my God, how many receiving yards is this guy gonna have by the end of the year?
He wasn't kidding.
He wasn't kidding about 2,000 yards. He wasn't at all. All right, so you want to talk about Buffalo?
Yeah, I mean, Von Miller's not in there, and it doesn't even matter right now. Poor Sam Howell's just looking rough. I mean, he's on a shitty team, so what do you expect? Feel bad for the guy.
I mean, he's been doing the best with it.
Yeah, it just sucks to see. Some of these guys just have to go somewhere, and they just get obliterated 37-3.
4 interceptions.
Picks, yep.
4 interceptions. He was looking like Josh Allen. Josh Allen still got an interception. He's going against the Commanders. I think
37-3 is ridiculous as well.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are starting to get really, really, like the balance in the NFL that looked like it was about to happen seems to kind of be disappearing really soon. I mean, a lot of blowouts going on. 70-20, 37-3. I think there was one more good one. Buffalo's Buffalo's defense still doing what they do. Josh Allen still doing what he does. Not much to say about that game.
not much to say about the Commanders, I can tell you that.
A lot to say about Baltimore Ravens with their list of injuries and their BS flag play calling, or the refs officiating.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, I could tell you we didn't deserve that game, but we also didn't deserve the way to lose in that fashion. I would rather lose by them playing better football. I can say that the Ravens played sloppy football that game, and they don't deserve to win if they play sloppy football. Lamar still having that fumbling issue. You got to wrap that football. You got to tuck it. I mean, the one fumble he dropped on it, and the other fumble. I mean, you got to tuck it. I don't care if you're throwing. If you see that guy coming for you, you got to tuck it. So that's something that he needs to work on. Refs missed a face mask in the fourth quarter, and they also missed a pass interference call in overtime. And the Ravens saw Justin Tucker miss in fourth quarter to win the game for us, so we went into overtime, and they didn't trust Justin Tucker. They had 2 chances. One was a 62-yard chance. I think the other one was like a 60 or 61. And they didn't trust him after he missed 1 field goal. I mean, you got to trust Tucker. I don't care if he misses 1. He missed it at 62 yards or 63 yards, whatever it was. I mean, most kickers wouldn't even attempt it there. He missed it, but I mean, he can make it. He's proven that. So that's something that they need to work on. They need to work on trusting Tucker. Even if he misses once, doesn't mean he's going to miss again. And they got to work on ball security. They get that ball security wrapped up. This is a whole different game. Gardner Minshew looking pretty good though. I mean, he came in there and he did pretty good. They needed Anthony Richardson for that burst of energy that he gives them, but Minshew came in there and he did great. So I'll give him credit. Crazy defensive line, DeForest Buckner and everybody. They're a crazy defensive line. They were wrapping up Lamar in the pocket. It's good to see Lamar in the pocket, but they were wrapping him up. Yeah. What about the Saints?
What a, there's blowouts and then there's a 1-point game.
Yeah.
It was
And
very
it didn't
good.
look like it was going to be a 1-point game. I mean,
Yeah.
it was 17-0 till the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's so weird how football can be like that.
Jordan Love, he was looking rough the whole game. He came back at the end. And it was 259 yards, 22-44
He was their
touchdown.
lead rusher as well.
Yeah,
Not good look for Green Bay.
he had both their touchdowns.
Not a good look for Green Bay when your quarterback's your lead rusher. I mean, he's not that guy, so
Yeah.
39 yards and tutty, but still.
Look at Romeo Dubs with 5 receptions, 73 yards and a touchdown. Chris Olave, 8 receptions, 104 yards. Now, Derek Carr. That's something everybody wants to hear about. Derek Carr went down. Apparently, he avoided a scary injury. He went to the hospital to get checked out, and apparently he avoided a scary injury, but, I mean, how long is he going to be out? You have Andy Dalton as your backup. And Andy Dalton actually came in there, and he didn't look that bad. But, I mean, man, it is Andy Dalton, right?
No, James Winston.
Jameis Winston. Who's Andy Dalton on? I watched Andy Dalton come in there. Oh, he's on Carolina. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Jameis Winston didn't look horrible. 10 for 16, 101 yards. I watched a little bit of this game. I mean, it wasn't... Derek Carr definitely has a little bit more pizzazz in his throws. But Jameis Winston... I get these backups mixed up. Jameis Winston, he wasn't doing awful. And look at Michael Thomas. 6 receptions, 50 yards. He's still playing.
Yeah.
He's not injured yet. Maybe
You wouldn't
people
know
should
he's
trust
playing.
him. Maybe people should trust him.
He's snoozing now.
That's the thing. He's making yardage. That helps move the chains. And if you watch him, he's tiptoeing. He's tiptoeing the sidelines and everything. He's making some actual good catches. It's not like he's being targeted a lot, though. Chris Olave is that guy on that. And Taysom Hill, I don't know if I even want to see Taysom Hill anymore. I feel like that's so obvious. When he comes in, they're going to throw a short pass to the running back, or he's going to try to run. And it only works like 3 games a year. Why are we still going through this?
Yeah, he's a boring guy anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it was exciting at first, but man, it is not. Everybody expects what you're going to do. What else you want to talk about?
Oh,
I guess
man.
I already brought it up. Andy Dalton. Might as well talk about Carolina, right?
Yeah. Loving Geno Smith.
Nah.
Picked him up this weekend. Waiver wire.
Yeah, not a bad pickup either. We're a 10-man league, so he's available. A lot of leagues, Geno Smith is not going to be available. I mean, Andy Dalton came in and did great. Why is it not showing? Didn't Bryce Young play this game?
No, he's
He-
hurt.
He was out like the whole game.
Yeah,
I
they
thought he
ruled him
played
out
some
at the
game.
beginning of the game. No, they ruled him out.
Oh. 34-58, 361 yards, 2 touchdowns. He almost threw a 400-yard game.
Yeah, he was all right on the Bengals, man. He had 1-2 bad years, and he was thrown to the curb.
Adam Thielen killing it, 11 receptions, 145 yards, and a touchdown.
He's on my bench.
Yeah. DJ Chark, four receptions, 86 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, it's looking pretty good.
I think it's DJ Clark.
They need to get Hayden Hurst involved. He is a great tight end. I don't know why they don't get him more involved. They got him involved the first game of the year, and that's it. That's all, folks. That's it. Am I gonna get trademarked?
Yeah, and it's sued by not Disney. Who is it?
Nah, no one cares.
Right.
Move
When I
on.
say it, we'll get sued.
Yeah.
No, but Geno Smith, I need him on my fantasy team. I mean, even when they don't look good as a team, he's carrying them throughout the whole game. Kenneth Walker, 18 receptions, 97 yards,
18 carries.
5.4 yards. 18 carries, sorry. 2 touchdowns, so a lot of ground game as usual for this team.
Ooh, wow. DK Metcalf with 6 receptions, 112 yards, and 18.7 average. Metcalf's a problem.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker.
I was really expecting more from Najiba. I was. I haven't seen much from him.
You don't need to. I mean, these other 2 guys are just doing the job so well.
I mean, Tyler
19
Lockett only got
yards.
3 receptions, 34 yards.
Yeah, I'm talking 19 yards of reception,
And who's-
18 yards of reception.
Who's Parkinson? I never even heard of him.
I don't know.
I don't follow the Seahawks that close, but man, who's Parkinson? Tell me in the comments. Who's Parkinson? Is he important? Is he a good guy on your team?
Speaking of important, Taylor Swift with Travis Kelce.
Yeah, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. What do they call her? Trefty. It was something ugly. It was something, Kifty, and they
Yeah, I heard
tried
on
tried
the
mixing the
radio,
name, and it
it's
was
kinda bad.
awful. It was gross. Like, stop. You know, when you watch the Chiefs game, everybody started cheering when they cheered Taylor Swift more than when the Chiefs blew out the Bears. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, there's nothing even to say about that game.
Which I mean,
It's
it's probably more
why.
entertaining than that game. You gotta give them credit for that. I mean, every week I talk about the poverty franchise, the Chicago Bears, and they don't prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, maybe I'll stop calling you that.
Justin Fields
Man.
under 100 yards.
100.
Lead rushing.
Oh man, under 100 yards.
Yeah, straight dud. Patrick Mahomes doing what he does. Travis Kelce getting the tutty. 69 yards for Taylor Swift. You know the vibe.
Yeah.
Not much to talk about there. It's pretty shitty.
Just wait until Travis Kelce starts doing a Taylor Swift dance in the end zone.
Oh god.
Oh man, he's
I
gonna
don't
start.
think
He's
he
gonna
will.
start shaking his butt or something. Just wait for it. Oh
Not
man.
good.
Yeah.
Game sucked.
Kenny Pickett, I'll give him credit. He did a little better this week.
Yeah, man. Kenny Two Gloves. There we go.
Oh man, Kenny
That's
Small
my
Hands.
guy, yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo 3 picks. 324 yards.
He was
Pretty sure
hurt.
He got hurt as well.
He was hurt for some of that. Yeah.
Yeah, because he didn't get taken out of the game, right?
No, but he's under concussion protocol. I'm pretty sure now. We'll cover that later. We'll cover all the
Good to see him
injuries
start.
later.
Najee
Yeah.
Harris, Josh Jacobs, both getting about 62, 65 yards.
Najee
so-
Harris is not looking like a starter in the NFL anymore.
No.
He looked like it in the first year, and that was it.
I don't get so. It seems like it's so common now with these players. It's just like,
That's the thing about Najee Harris. He is an incredible athlete. He is. He's an incredible athlete that can't play football. He is not a football player.
you know,
He just doesn't look right when he runs, and he just doesn't do the right things. I mean, Warren came in and he's looking better and looking like more of a burst of energy in it. Najee's just not looking like the guy that they thought he was. Now George Pickens is. 4 receptions, 75 yards. They don't want to get him involved for some reason though. He needs to get more involved. Look at Devontae Adams, 13 receptions, 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's crazy.
yeah, Green Bay misses that guy. I know they do.
Yeah. You know who
He's just
misses?
quietly doing his thing over there. I had him.
Yeah, you know who else misses their guy is the Patriots. Jacoby Myers coming back out of concussion protocol, 7 receptions, 85 yards. I mean, I put him in over Puka. And it won me the game. So I have a lot of faith in Jacoby Myers. I mean, they're gonna double team Devontae Adams. There's gonna be games where Jacoby Myers is gonna go off, just like that first game where he got the concussion. So look for that. They're a good 1-2 punch. If they can have somebody throw them the ball without getting 3 interceptions, maybe they'll win the games. Biggest thing with Jimmy, there's one thing about Jimmy Garoppolo. He's not a deep passer. There's also one thing about Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers. They're deep wide receivers. So it's a little bit of a mismatch. He has 2 great wide receivers, but that does not play to his strengths. So it's going to be an interesting trio to see move forward and get used to each other. See how they get around that.
Yeah, next thing I want to talk about is Cowboys Cardinals. Big blowout. Upset. 28-16. I consider that a blowout considering the teams that played each other. Cardinals Cowboys. I don't think anybody's seen this coming.
No.
But Cardinals just showing up every week for some reason. Josh Dobbs is doing this. It's just
Josh Dobbs looks nice. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll give him credit. This guy's playing like I would rather have him in than Kyler Murray at this point. I mean, Kyler Murray was looking a little rough at the end, and look at Josh Dobbs coming back for only missing 4 passes.
almost 200 yards passing. He had 55 yards on the ground. Passing touchdown, no picks. He's doing what he needs to do out there.
Yeah. Michael Wilson with 2 receptions for 86 yards. Who is Michael Wilson? I don't even know who that is either. There's a lot of receivers I need to research, but like, especially him. Like I never, but he only has 2 receptions. Maybe it was more of just a good placement. But Hollywood Brown, 5 receptions, 61 yards and a touchdown. He was making some cool plays. I saw a few plays where he was tiptoeing, he was maneuvering, and Hollywood Brown's looking like he's starting to come back from that injury he had last year, and he's starting to look like himself again. And I'm excited for him. He's coming from the Ravens. He wasn't happy, and we got rid of the coordinator that where he wasn't happy because of nobody was happy with him. So I'm glad he's getting touches and he's actually still staying a starter in the league because he deserves it. As long as you don't put him in a place where he's going to get hit, 'cause he's scared of getting hit. As long as you don't put him in that place, he's good to go.
Yep.
And Cowboys, I mean, Dak Prescott looking like a dud in the end zone. He cannot. I mean, the red zone offense looked awful. Defense looked great still. I mean, Micah Parsons, always crazy, but I mean they're not. The offense was awful. They need to get Brandon Cooks involved. Why is Brandon Cooks not getting involved in these games? That's my question. Like Brandon Cooks, 2 receptions, 17 yards. Dude was a 1,000-yard receiver for how many years before this? Dude's not even getting it thrown to him. He was a 1,000-yard receiver on the Texans without C.J. Stroud.
Now he's just. I'm thinking of the past.
Yeah.
He needs to get cooking, that's for sure. But speaking of who got cooking, DeAndre Swift to the Eagles.
DeAndre Swift.
Week 1, 0 touches, and then all of a sudden it's like we were hiding him.
That's the only Swift Kelsey combination this guy needs.
Yeah.
Is DeAndre
That's
Swift.
what I care about.
Yeah.
It's a great one. 25-11 win. Pretty self-explanatory. Eagles doing their same stuff. Getting a dub.
Baker Mayfield.
Getting dropped from my fantasy team already.
I know you were just telling them
choice.
about it last week. You know, don't expect this though. He went against one of the better defenses in the league, and he's still on his 3rd game with the team. I mean, he's still doing good. You got to give him credit. He's still doing decent. So, I mean,
It was raining pretty bad.
yeah.
I mean, 3 picks in the whole game from these guys.
And their top rusher at 38 yards. So he was forced to throw against a good Eagles defense in the rain on his 3rd game with the team. So give him a little leeway. He might be rushing things by dropping him already. Maybe he should have put him as a backup, but he does have Anthony Richardson, so that's okay. So, but no one's going to pick him up. So
Not gnarly. I think we get Geno Smith for next week.
this is DeAndre Swift's 2nd game with over 130 rushing yards, though. He's looking great. A.J. Brown coming back strong after a slow week. 9 receptions, 131 yards. And Jalen Carter looking like a really good candidate for defensive rookie of the year with all the pressures and everything he's getting. He had a sack too, didn't he? Pretty sure he had a sack. Maybe he didn't. No, he didn't have a sack. Half a sack. He was part of a sack. I thought he was a part of something.
Loving his defense.
Jordan Davis, he was looking aggressive in that game. I think he's going to start making more and more of an impact as the season goes on. He had this one tackle where he just had that angry look in his face. He kind of looked like he did in Georgia. So that'll be
That
interesting.
dog in him.
Woof woof. All right.
Rams Bengals. Snooze fest.
Yeah. I mean, dude, the Bengals almost allowed a kicker to beat me in fantasy when I was 20 points up. Just think about that. That's how boring this game was. I mean, Joe Burrow. Where is he?
Yeah,
I mean,
gone.
he's starting to get cooking with Jamar Chase again. Finally, 12 receptions, 141 yards for Chase. He had 259 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, 26 for 49, pretty close to a 0.5%. I mean, it's nothing impressive. Matt Stafford wasn't impressive either. He just keeps throwing interceptions. I mean, 18 for 33, 269 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. Puka, 5 receptions, 72 yards. I mean, still watch this guy. He's He's at 30 catches this year in 3 weeks.
Matt likes to give him the ball.
Yeah. He is Cooper Kupp while Cooper Kupp is gone, and don't expect him to go away when Cooper Kupp gets back. He will be the number 2 option. When Cooper Kupp is getting double teamed, he will get his reads. So that's what I have to say about that.
Alright, well, that's the overview of all the games, a little chat and little stats. Get everybody in the mix.
Yeah.
See what's going on. See what we think about it.
Yeah.
Next, I don't know, we were going to talk about the injuries, so I figured you'd want to start off with the new list of Ravens injuries, as there seems to be every week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of Ravens injuries. These are, just remember, these injuries that we talk about every week, these are fantasy injuries. We're not going through every linebacker, safety, and everything that is injured. It would be a very long list. We're going through notable fantasy injuries so that you guys know what is going on for each week. So the notable Baltimore Ravens injuries are Tylan Wallace, wide receiver. He has a hamstring issue. He did not return against the Colts. Gus Edwards, oh man, it hurt us a lot. Concussion. He's under protocol. And wide receiver Rashad Bateman, hamstring. He hobbled out of the game. It doesn't appear to be serious, but John Harbaugh says about everything. He said that about Odell Beckham, and look, he didn't play last week. So don't take John Harbaugh's word for it. He will downplay every injury until the last possible moment. Carolina Panthers wide receiver Jonathan Mingo out for concussion, ruled out against Seahawks. Las Vegas Raiders QB Jimmy Garoppolo, concussion, he's under protocol.
Man got smacked. I can finish up.
Yeah.
LA Chargers, obviously Mike Williams got a torn ACL. That's a heartbreaker for fantasy and Chargers fans. I mean, that dude's a monster.
Right.
So you hate to see that. Derek Carr's got the AC joint sprain. That's a week-to-week injury. Jameis Winston's going to be filling in. Don't sleep on him either. I mean, that dude puts the ball down the field when he needs to. So they have a good backup at helm. I mean, that's who was running this offense before Derek Carr came in. So just think about that. He's not new here. Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes got ankle a little bit. I guess, he got a little agitated at the end of the game? Or
No, he twisted it up and looked bad, but he said it was nothing. Still a little scary, though, because, I mean, look at last year. I mean, he kept playing, but there's a lot of season left. He should not keep playing if it hurts him.
Yeah, ridiculous. Tennessee Titans got Julius Chestnut. He's ruled out already, so make sure you're doing those adjustments for your team, depending on those injuries. Luckily fortunately not a bigger list than we have been getting these past few weeks.
It's actually a quite small list compared, especially last week. Last week was a lot of injuries.
A lot of nasty injuries.
Yeah, it was bad.
Alright guys, getting into the fantasy stuff here, so
Yeah.
talk about the waiver wires. My favorite probably on this list is CJ Stroud. He's only 20% rostered. I mean, I'm kind of the same boat as the other 80%. I'm just not sure about him yet. I mean, he might be cooking and just fall off the face of the earth once you sign him. I get it. But 40.3 attempts a game, 302 yards per game, 4 touchdowns in just 2 weeks, and no interceptions all season. So,
I mean, even if it's he's getting yards and they're letting him pass, they're trusting him.
it's fantasy.
So either way, that's fantasy points. So if his receivers make plays, and even if he's throwing a short route, I mean, if that receiver makes a play, look at Nico Collins.
Yep.
But who's that other one? Tank Dell?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are making plays, and they're looking good. So he might be a good pickup. I mean, if they make the play, get the touchdown, you got the points too. It's not just the receiver that gets that point. So, I mean, trust that C.J. Stroud will at least throw the ball because he's shown that in the first 3 weeks.
Yep. Russell Wilson. He's a little more roster, which is surprising. But, for next week, if you need someone for a bye week or something, and he's not drafted up, playing against the Bears, so I think anybody can do good against the Bears. I'm not sold on him, so I'm not sure how I feel about him yet.
I would rather take the Broncos against the Bears because the Bears look like they don't even know what they're doing. Justin Fields blames coaching for his issues.
Yeah, he keeps doing that.
He's blaming everybody up and down.
cut himself.
Yeah, I mean, like, at the end of the day, I wouldn't mind seeing him on another team. I mean, if Sam Howell doesn't work out, I wouldn't mind seeing him on the Commanders, seeing what he can do. But you don't blame the franchise that picked you up, that gave you that chance. You say maybe it's just not working, but you don't go live blaming them. You go and talk to them. So, that's just, it's very unprofessional like of him, especially when his game plan is struggling a lot.
Yeah, so moving on, we got for the Miami Dolphins, the rookie, Devon Achane.
Oh man, he had a crazy game.
Yeah, 233 yards and 4 touchdowns, 4.2 40-yard dash time. He's only 42% rostered. You know a lot of people didn't get to enjoy that, which is crazy
Dude had 4 touchdowns.
for a running back.
That's fantasy material right there. And I mean, he's I think a second round rookie or something like that. I mean, this guy's the guy that they've been looking for. They thought about Dalvin Cook. They thought about all these running backs, and look, they might have had him all along, and they didn't even know it. They didn't spend the money to get him. And the dude runs a 4.2 40 time. This offense is fast. It is fast. And we saw it all on display against the Broncos. Sorry, Sean Payton.
Not sorry, it was fun to watch.
Yeah, I like seeing him upset.
Yeah, for sure.
He is.
Pissed. He got that
Yeah.
stank face.
Now that he's on the Broncos, I like him so much less. So it's like, I can watch him get upset.
All right, next we got Elijah Mitchell of the 49ers, 39% rostered, 14 touches in a win against the Giants, 44 yards in that process. If you need someone to be there, sometimes a good RB2. He's right behind McCaffrey whenever he's slumped out, so just consider that if you need it.
I mean, the biggest thing with him is, like, he's not going to be a crazy runner for you. He's going to be that guy that you have as a backup that might have a game. Especially if McCaffrey goes out. Because he has a lot of potential. And they don't want to run McCaffrey into the ground. That's the biggest thing with the Niners. They still like the running back by committee, but it's just those two. So, McCaffrey runs a whole bunch. That means Elijah Mitchell's probably coming in. It's what Elijah Mitchell makes out of those touches that he does get. He's not playing a backup role. He's playing a supporting role. That is 2 different things, and you have to take that into consideration. If you're in a 12-person league and you don't have many options, this may be an option.
Yeah, so moving on, another good option, Zeke Elliott, 43% rostered.
Especially against the Cowboys next week.
Yeah, revenge game, carried 16 times for 80 yards, Sunday's win, 7-yard pass reception. Keep an eye on him because I'm sure he's going to want to get out there against his old team. Not much else to say there, I guess. Tank Dell, Houston Texans, 32% rostered. Dude's on fire. Only 32% of people still have faith in him. 145 yards, 7 targets. That's a crazy number, 32% for someone that's kind of just carried that rookie quarterback and ran this team where they need to be.
And he caught 5 out of 7 targets for 145 yards. You really think that this guy's going to slow down? I mean, some people have crazy games. They never do it again. But, I mean, this guy is a rookie doing that. So, I mean, that's usually the hardest time is to do that as a rookie. So, I mean, the only thing he could do is get more comfortable. It's just what he does with that comfortableness.
Yep. Green Bay Packers, Romeo Dobbs, Dubes, however, 12 targets, 73 yards, and a touchdown. He has seen 20 targets from Jordan Love and is growing each game. That's a guy that's only 42% rostered, so over half of you'd be able to snag him up if you're looking for a good receiver, flex receiver, whatever you need. Good bye week option. But also, this is probably our biggest sleeper on the waiver wire this week. Really happy to show this one. Receiver Joshua Palmer of the Chargers. He's only rostered 4% to making of this, so
4%.
yeah, that's a baby, man. Mike Williams out of the game. He got 66 yards and a touchdown, 7 targets. So keep an eye on Justin Herbert and this guy. I mean, he might be getting some diamond in the rough because Mike Williams, he ain't coming back.
Yeah, he's out for the year. Keenan Allen's going to get double teamed. I mean, he's the best receiver and the only top receiver on their team. So they're going to be focusing on double teaming Keenan. I mean, he just threw a touchdown and caught a few, I think. So, I mean, this guy is pretty good, and he literally called it this summer, saying, you guys think I'm old? You guys think I'm done? Watch this. So they're going to be watching him. They are watching him. Well, just like he said, they're watching him, and they're going to be covering him. So when he is covered, look for this guy to get those catches. And, I mean, if he's 4% rostered and you have him as a backup, what is the downside? So
Not much.
Justin Herbert throws. I mean, he throws all the time. Dude, there's crazy amounts of yards. So there is really not much downside to at least trying it. Keep an eye on him.
Yeah, no doubt. Wide receiver Adam Thielen, Carolina Panthers. I drafted him. He's finally starting to look like I thought he was going to with this Panthers team. 11 catches, 145 yards, and a touchdown. 14 targets. So they're pointing the ball his way now, finally. Starting to look like he's warming up. If you don't have him and you need a receiver, he's probably, in my opinion, the most reliable option moving forward. Just be wary of the fact that he hasn't been playing like himself since he's been with the Panthers. But it takes time. I mean, Odell with Baltimore, a couple of the other ones. It just takes time when you're on a new team.
Odell looks like himself. He's injured.
Sleeper on defense, 46% roster, Cleveland Brown defense. 3 weeks of the season in, and they've only allowed 2.8 yards a rush to opposing rushers and 4.7 yards a pass. And this is a 46% roster defense. If I didn't have the Saints defense, I'd be all over this.
Right.
Myles Garrett, do I have to say less about that? I mean,
Pick up that defense.
yeah, if you need a defense, guys, or a bye-week defense, just watch them if they're
Just do it. I mean, what are you gonna lose?
Speaking of winning and losing,
It's time for betting.
yeah, we're doing the gambling stuff, so
Yeah.
last week was embarrassing. I didn't bet at all. I bet one game, and I don't even want to say what it was.
All of the bets I put in were great. There was a few duds, but I had a great. I didn't put any of the Mondays in until after the last stream. Well, the Mondays I put in were awful. But all of the Sundays and the Thursday ones I put in, I mean, I was up. I was up a lot. So I was doing pretty good. So I accidentally just clicked fantasy.
I'll start a while then. So I got 13 bets on this week. Well, actually, I got 11 this week, and I got 2 look-aheads for week 5. So I'll start off Detroit at Green Bay. I like that game. I decided to go with the Green Bay Packers as underdogs.
Now, me and him have a lot of opposite picks this week. So let us know in the comments. Are you rocking Gage? Or are you rocking J-Dog? Let us know in the comments. Hashtag J-Dog.
Yeah, you wish. We're going to find out. We're going to see who's in it.
Yep.
Green Bay is an underdog at home. Green Bay's won 27 out of 30 home games at Detroit. Last time they did, it was just the last time they played, and that was a playoff elimination. So I like to see a revenge game here from Green Bay. I like the plus number. I think that's good value on the money line. Jacksonville, -3 against the Falcons. I think that rush defense is going to be enough to stump the Falcons just like this happened this week. And I think Trevor Lawrence might be able to do something against this mediocre defense. Houston and Pittsburgh, I'm with Houston plus 3.5. I like the hook there. 3-point game. I could see that. C.J. Stroud's on fire. Kenny Pickett's all over the place. I'm worried about the Pittsburgh defense. That's an ugly pick, but I like the number. L.A. Indianapolis, I chose under 47 for my bet. This is one of those games where, with the question of Anthony Richardson and just the way that these guys are putting up stats on these two teams, but the points are never there. So I'm definitely excited. This is a risky pick, but could be an under there. Minnesota, Carolina, I bet the under as well. Again, two teams that just can't finish what they're doing. Kirk's throwing for how many yards, but he's only getting 20 points a game. Carolina struggles to get 20 points a game. So Again, this is just value on the number, 45.5. I projected it maybe 42. Tampa Bay +3 against the Saints. Saints are dealing with some quarterback troubles. So are the Buccaneers, but not as bad. They got Baker Mayfield. They know what they got. I see them bouncing back after a tough Philly game. I got +3 at +100. That's insane. I would have taken that at -110. So definitely a full unit there. Cincinnati, Tennessee Titans. I bet 2.5 there on the Bengals. 2.5 on the against this Titans team. I mean, come on, they can't get Derrick Henry to move the ball. And I know Joe Burrow and them are looking rough, but I think the more the season progresses, the more they're going to wake up. And I just like them by the field goal. I think that's a good number.
And they finally got the first win. Now they're on that hype train to get back to where they used to be.
Yeah, and football's a streaky sport, so as soon as they get hot and they keep winning, just watch out for them. Like, get some early value. That's what I'm looking for here.
Yep.
Denver, Chicago. This is another ugly one. I bet under 46.
Yuck.
I
I agree.
don't see Justin Fields doing anything. We'll see if Russ can cook and blow them out the water. Maybe we'll get a 41-10, and I'll be upset, but we'll see.
I don't see Russ scoring more than like 25 points, and I don't see Justin Fields scoring more than like 14, to be honest. And if he does, it's going to be with his feet with like 4 interceptions. So, if it happens, I called it.
Yep.
Poverty franchise.
My next bet I like is under 48, Raiders, Chargers. A lot of injuries on both offenses this week, so I'm just trying to snag that number before it gets knocked down to probably 46, 45. This is the ugliest pick I chose. Arizona +14 against the Niners. I feel like that's just disrespectful at this point to the Cardinals. I mean, on paper, they're not that good, but when you watch what they're doing, they're winning football games. And even if they don't win this game, it is the Niners, and the Niners are on a hype train like no other. I just, we've seen against the Giants, so I'm surprised with that Giants game that happened with the 49ers that they're throwing this kind of number on the Cardinals. So I would definitely pick that up, but that's personal risk. I know this one, me and J-Dog have separate, but I bet Seattle +102 against the Giants. Oh my gosh. I mean,
I could see it.
it could go either way, but I like the value on the underdog number for Seattle. I think should be a pick 'em, so a little bit of value on the number. Giants without, healthy Saquon, it could be an issue.
He's not out for this week yet.
But either way, I'm worried about him, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you guys want some look-aheads for Week 5, I got 2 for you. Buffalo -4.5 against the Jaguars.
International game. I do not agree.
Don't matter, man. Don't listen to that noise.
I'll give you my picks here soon.
My last pick is Kansas City -6 at Minnesota. I definitely see that being a 7.5, 8-point spread, especially if Kansas City performs well this week. So hop on those while you can.
I can see that. Just hopefully there's no injuries for KC because they can't afford to lose their best players. So the biggest thing with KC is keep Travis Kelce, keep their defense normal, and I think that'll be an easy money. Jaguars versus Bills though in 2 weeks. I mean, it's an international game. Jaguars are loved down there. They are going to be making noise for the Jags, and the season they've had, they need that motivation. And they got Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley against a guy that throws interceptions every game, Josh Allen. So if they can capitalize off those interceptions, which I think they will, I put them at a +170 for the Jags to win it. I also put a +100 on the Giants winning. I just think it's good value, and the Giants are underappreciated now that Daniel Jones has been struggling. I think Daniel Jones will have a comeback game and win it. I put over 41 for the Patriots and Cowboys. I mean, Cowboys, they're pissed. They just lost to supposed to be the worst team in the NFL. Cowboys are pissed. Dak Prescott is gonna be thrown. He just got his first pick of the year. That he said, "I'm not gonna do it." He just got his first pick of the year. He is pissed. They are gonna be chucking that ball everywhere, and I expect it to kind of be like the Giants game. To be honest, That is a rough New England game because the New England defense, but I mean, Mac Jones against the Cowboys defense, crazier things have happened, but I don't see it. So I got them over 41. I think the Patriots will get maybe 10 points. I think the Cowboys will get 30 to 40. I think they're gonna be really aggressive that game. Arizona Cardinals versus the 49ers. I also got them at a plus 14 because I think that's disrespectful. I think Josh Dobbs, what he's doing down there is incredible. And I think that he's underrated as a quarterback right now. I mean, it could not continue. But he just versus the Cowboys defense, who is rated kind of like the Niners defense. So let's see what he can do. I don't think they're going to blow him out like they say they're going to. I mean, he just 28-16 to the Cowboys. So you really think he's not going to at least be in 14 of the 49ers? We'll see.
Hot pick right there. I like that pick.
Yeah. I said over 45 for the Colts of Rams. I think he said the opposite. I think Anthony Richardson will be back. And you know Anthony Richardson, he ran 2 touchdowns in the first quarter last time he was in. This dude gets on fire. This is going to be a scoring game. And the Colts defense isn't very good. And they got Puka. They got Tutu. And, I mean, this is going to be a high-scoring game, I think. I think Matt Stafford's going to be throwing all over the place. And I don't think the Colts defense has enough in them to pick him off a bunch of times. And I also think that Anthony Richardson is going to be running as long as Aaron Donald doesn't get a hold of him and give him a concussion. So I think that this is going to be a good game. Run to the left, Richardson. Run to the left. Don't run towards Aaron Donald. Never a good idea. All right.
He'll learn. He'll find out.
Yeah. Commanders versus Eagles. I got these at over 44.5. I also think Sam Howell just threw 4 interceptions and he is pissed and he's going against a divisional rival. I mean, I don't think it's going to be Sam Howell's going to be crazy, but I think the Eagles are starting to get on track, so they're going to score minimum 21 to 28 points. And I think Sam Howell keeps the game kind of close. So I expect this to be over 44.5. I'm thinking more like 47, 48 points. So I'm thinking that's going to be an easy take. I also put the Cincinnati Bengals at a plus 102 money line. I think them against the Titans. I mean, Ryan Tannehill. Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
His offensive line doesn't. They won't even hold where Derrick Henry can get yards. You really think Ryan Tannehill's going to get yards? So, and they're going against the Bengals. They didn't even let the Rams get yards, who've been kind of on fire. So I'm going to go with the Bengals there. And Jamar Chase, he's back. I don't care. All of you guys that traded Jamar Chase because you were scared of the first 2 weeks, this is why you don't worry about the first few weeks. This is why. You bench him, you wait. But this is why. Because he's back. And that's hard for me to say as a Ravens fan, but it's true. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think that Baker Mayfield will come back. I think he's going against a Saints defense that's pretty good. But they got Mike Evans, they got Chris Godwin, they have Rachaad White, they have a great offense. And the defense isn't bad either. And I think that going against someone that's not Derek Carr, I think they have better of a chance. And I think this is going to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneers win. So I want plus 124. I mean, that's great value. I put over 41 for the Steelers and Texans. Scared about this one. You never know because Kenny Pickett is either scoring or he's not. It's never a lot either.
Steelers defense likes to score too.
That's what I was going to say. But Steelers defense is aggressive. They get fumbles. They could even against a rookie. They could even be putting Kenny Pickett in the red zone right away.
We'll see C.J. Stroud get his first interception.
Yeah.
Big scary Steelers defense.
C.J. Stroud. How is he gonna handle the pressure? That's the question. How is he gonna handle the pressure? I think that he's gonna do well. To be honest, I think he's gonna do well. I think he's gonna do a lot of short passes. So expect passes to Dameon Pierce. Expect passes to slot receivers. And expect passes to the tight end because he's going to need to get the ball out quick because J.J. Watt's right around the corner and his offensive line is not going to hold J.J. Watt for long. So expect short passes, but I think he'll be smart. I think he'll score at least once or twice, but I don't think they're going to win. I think this will be a Steelers victory, but I didn't trust that because I don't trust Kenny Pickett yet. So I put over 41, and that's a great value. C.J. Stroud's threw for 300 to 400 yards a game so far. Baltimore Ravens, I put plus 100. They're going against the Cleveland Browns. Great defense, but Deshaun Watson's not really getting rolling right now. So yeah, I think that I think the Baltimore Ravens will take that. Minnesota Vikings minus 2.5. I think that the Vikings are pissed and they're going against the Panthers offense that's just not that efficient. Hopefully Bryce Young's back for them, but I don't think they're going to win that. Miami Dolphins plus 120 against the Bills. I think the Miami Dolphins are going to destroy the Bills. They've been looking great, and I see them continuing that success. Plus 3 for the Falcons against the Jaguars. Jaguars aren't looking good. Falcons are. Bijan didn't have a good game last week. He'll have another good one. So I think plus 3 for the Falcons. I think they'll at least keep it close, if not win. So I think that's good value. Over 45 for the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. This is my last one. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Jordan Love, he throws constant touchdowns. Detroit Lions have a great offense, and I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. And I think over 45 is too low for that. So expect that.
Big rivalry game there, so I'd like to see a lot of points, right?
Yeah. But guys, that's all we got for the Week 3 overview and the Week 4 preview. So drop a like, subscribe, turn on the notifications because we will be back every week on Tuesday night. So if you guys want all of your fantasy information, your injury information, your betting information, and an overview of the past week, come back. We will be here. Consistency. Thank you.